Okay, I just got my Xiaomi 13T Pro and I'm going to unbox it. Okay, well, I have to say that the counter in the store where I purchased it was already unboxed, but I'm gonna make my own unbox to show the features of this device. Okay, let's do it. This phone comes in a beautiful box with a simple design, just white color, silver letters, and the logo, just a small one. Now I'm going to proceed to open it. The first thing I can find inside is a small box with the name of Xiaomi in the front, containing the warranty, the manual, the pin for the SIM card slot, and a case. After removing this little box, I can see the phone covered by a plastic which has written on it some of the features on the phone. Some of these features are pretty much premium. This particular model is a 5G technology with the storage capacity of 1 TB and 16 GB of RAM. Here we have this beautiful piece of technology. Below the phone in the box, we can find a 120 watts charger and the cable. The cable for this phone is a Type-C for one side and a normal USB type to connect the charger. This phone doesn't support wireless charging. And this is everything we find inside the box. Now I proceed to turn on the phone. It's showing up the Xiaomi logo and indicating that it's powered by Android. And now it's showing up the home page, but at this point the phone is already set up. So let's go back and check out the first setting up process. As I said before, the phone was unboxed by the vendor at the store. They cut and removed the plastic cover and proceed to set up the phone for the first time. The first setting after turning on the phone is to select the language. Then you need to select the region. After that, you need to agree with the terms and conditions, and the phone will look for a SIM card and a Wi-Fi signal. Then will show up the Google services, set up screen lock password, configure the basic settings such as the lock screen theme, and the default launcher or homepage type. And that's all. This phone is powered by the 14th version of Android. After that, I asked for a screen protector, which is very important. Now I proceed to put the phone inside the case that comes with the product. This one can come in with a memory of 256, 512 and 1 TB. Now I'm going to install the SIM cards. This phone has a dual SIM card tray, where the SIM cards are placed one opposite to the other. As we can see, there is no space for an SD card in this tray. And this is because internal SD card hasn't been considered for this T series. One of the new features of these phones is like there is no SD card slot. Like really, just because they have 1 terabyte or 512, they decided to remove the SD card slot because first they want you to pay more because yeah, you have 1 terabyte or you have 512 gigas, but they want everything to be on the cloud. So SD cards is going to be SD card for the new phones are going to be outdated. Taking a look at this phone, we can see the huge camera square with Leica branding. The back cover comes in a glass that imitates metal. You have also a choice to get Irco leather and blue leather as materials for the back cover. The display of the phone has 6.67 inches in OLED with the resolution of 1220p, 144 Hz refresh rate, and Gorilla Glass 5 protection. There is still possible to access an SD card from this phone. You only need to get an SD card adapter with a Type-C plug. After the device is connected to the phone, you just need to open the File Manager app, select USB device, then you can see all the content inside the SD card. If the SD card is not detected, you need to open the Settings app on the home screen, scroll down and tap More Settings. Scroll down again until you find the OTG function. Select it and turn on the OTG switch. This phone has a beautiful design with the Xiaomi brand name on the corner on a horizontal or landscape look. There is a nice curve on the design and there is no jack port for the headset. To use the headset, you need to use the Bluetooth or you can get a headset with a Type-C plug. You can still connect a headset with a universal classic plug by using a Type-C adapter. In this case, I'm using a double function adapter where I can use the classic headset and the charger at the same time. Okay, now let's check out the camera. There is a 50 megapixel main camera, a 50 megapixel 2x telephoto camera, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. This Pro version of the Xiaomi 13T can record videos in 8K. Okay, Xiaomi has made a partner with Leica lenses, and they have developed a really nice camera for the phones. So let's check them out. Okay, here we have the control panel of the recording camera. On the right side we have these three buttons: HDR, resolution, frames per second. We can switch the resolution from 720, 1080, 4K and 8K. In 4K we can select 24, 30 or 60 frames per second. Okay, let's record some videos and see the results. This video in 4K has great colors and strong shadows in the darkest areas. If we watch closer, it doesn't have any noise at all, and the textures are very clear. Now in the video in 8K, colors are also great and it has a very good lighting and shadows are more smooth. Watching it closer, the textures are sharp. Even more closer, the image is still clear. Let's see another example of a video in 4K. We have three different colors here in this scene, and the contrast between all of them is very uniform. A little bit dark shadows and not too noisy. Now in the 8K we can see a little bit more light and the elements are more detailed, emphasizing on the reflections. And textures are more defined. So now let's see some comparison between 4K and 8K. Both recordings are very similar, but we can see some differences between the color pixels on the 8K over the 4K. Colors are more defined, but the quality in both videos is great. Now let's see another comparison. We have a lot of clouds in the background, and the shadows in the 8K video seem to be much sharper, and the 4K video seems to have more light. And one more comparison, but this time it is between 4K and 1080. And both videos have great color pixels and more light in 4K, but 1080 is also great. Now we are back to the control panel on the video mode, and we have three zoom buttons: 0.6x, 1x and 2x. So let's press 0.6 and record a video doing zooming in to 10x and zooming out back to 0.6. When recording in 4K, it is possible to zoom until 10x. In 8K recording, the zoom goes until 6.0 only. The camera doesn't allow to do zoom if the HDR button is active. So let's see the recorded video. There is a great zooming in with a good quality, and the textures keep uniform until 10x when there is a little bit of noise. In the zooming out video, we can see how the landscape is wide recorded like panoramic photo. Let's see another example in a portrait mode. We can see during the zooming process that the colors suddenly change in the whole scene, and this is because the camera changed lenses when zooming. This camera has a great range for distant elements. Here is the control panel for the photo. If you tap on this button on the top left corner, you can switch the style between vibrant colors from Leica and the original colors from the scene. This button here indicates that the location is on. So now let's see the results. And see the comparison. Here we have another scene. Let's compare the photos. Both images are clear without noise. Lights and shadows are also great. Now let's make some photo zoom. If you press and hold the 1x button, a circle shape will appear. This is the zoom controller and you can graduate the zoom in or zoom out. This photo feature can zoom until 20x. Now let's check the photos. Sometimes when it's too much zoom, it can be blurry. So this camera has a really nice focus and also a really nice zoom. As we can see, it can go from 0.6 to 10 and on the video, and in the photograph it can go from 0.6 to 20. The only issue I just don't like in this camera on this phone is that once they move from 0.9 to 1, boom, change the lens and the color change. Also happens to in the 2, I think. Oh, nice. This is a very nice sunset. Look at this. See? This is what happening. Let's zoom again and take some photos. And let's see the results. Some of the photos with a high zoom look very neat. So as I said, one of these disadvantages I see in this camera is that from 0.9 to 1 change the lens and change the color. Is like a changing. It's like a very strong changing. And also from 1.9 to 2, bam, another change. Actually, Xiaomi is not the only phone I have seen with this issue. I've seen other phones with that. But yeah, unfortunately, because sometimes I want to make a nice zoomy out, zooming in camera, but with this one, boom, it changes. It's like it's changing the scene totally because colors and the background is different. So this is one of these little issues I find in this camera. But the rest of that is really good. There is an airplane in the sky. It doesn't look very clear, but I want to show the power of the zoom of this camera. As we can see, this camera has an excellent steady system. You know, I'm walking here and the image looks so smooth. It's like flying in a drone. This is another example of a steady video on a very rough road, a gravel road on a motorbike. The video is not shaking at all. Okay, here we have the time-lapse video. I'm gonna do a walk while recording. Here we have also the zoom buttons. I'm going to record in 0.6. Don't worry about this shadow in the corner. That's just a case I put on the phone that interferes with the camera. The steady camera system is also working in this time-lapse. I'm slowly turning the camera to one side and see what happens. So now let's check the results. Very smooth. Another example. Okay, I am here with the front camera. The front camera is actually not very good, not as good as the opposite camera. Basically because when you take a photo or a video and there is a brilliant background, like a sunset, it's not a problem if you take it alone, like this. But when you take a selfie, that's the problem, because the background completely get blank. So what you have to do is manually decrease the brightness like this. But this is a problem. It's kind of annoying, because sometimes it's too much low brightness, sometimes it's too high. So that's why the front camera is not very good, not very accurate. You need to tap and hold anywhere on the screen to get the brightness controller. Increase or decrease by dragging up or down. The Xiaomi 13T Pro is a dust and waterproof, and it can be submerged up to 1.5 meters into fresh water. But this is not fresh water. In this example, the phone is inside a case to protect it from seawater. I just want to show the capacity of this camera to record underwater. Okay, I'm here in dark conditions, so I'm gonna test the camera at night. Yeah, so now this is the dark condition, the dark night here, the dark night. It's not super dark, but yeah. So let's check out the camera. So this camera gets the little lights and they increase it into the scene. So when I move to the photo, it doesn't look like this. It actually looks more clear, and I will take a picture. It's basically like this. So it's like the button is loading the photo, and then you get a nice result. Unfortunately for this camera, the 0.6 doesn't give a nice photo result. It's super noisy. I really don't understand why. Maybe that's a lack of lighting or lack of increasing the lighting. But in one, it gives a really nice night photo. So now I'm gonna show you some examples of night photography with the Xiaomi 13T Pro camera. Sometimes 0.6 gives a nice photography, but sometimes it's very noisy. This camera feature can take photos and videos in a very dark conditions. You need to select Pro in the menu of the camera and play around with all of the functions. You can make some research about how to set up a night photography with this feature. I'm not gonna move any settings as I already set it up for a night photography. I'm just showing up to you all the tools you can play around to get a really nice photography. When you press the shooting button, it will take about a minute to process all the light in the environment and create the photo. The time of processing depends on the exposure already set up on the settings. You can also select video and set up all the tools in the same way. So now I'm gonna show you some examples of photography taken in a very dark conditions with this camera of the Xiaomi 13T Pro. Some photos are taken with moving elements like cars with lights, and this creates nice camera effects. So another nice feature of this phone is the charging speed. So this Xiaomi version comes with a 120 watts charger, which allows the phone to get charged in about 20 to 30 minutes, which is amazing. It's just really fast and it's very good. You know, actually I really like and enjoy this phone, so I'm gonna purchase the Xiaomi 13T Pro, which has been launched in September 2024. Okay, this is all for today. Just remember to click like and subscribe the button, so you're gonna get more videos. That's it. Adios. I edited this whole video with the Xiaomi 13T Pro and the performance was just excellent.